Good morning, everybody. There we go. Um, Sorry I didn't make a video last night. I got really tired after finishing my finals, and it takes a lot of calories out of your brain sometimes when you're agonizing over giant freaking files that that they hold your life in the balance. So um, yeah, it is what it is. I went to sleep very early, and then now I'm up after having slept, and uh, I decided to investigate a movie called Plandemic. Now, some of you who have been longtime viewers remember that I used to be very interested in takedowns and copyright claims and flagging here on YouTube, and had a whole video series on that. And recently, there was a video from Dr. Dan Erickson and his colleague, who I don't even remember the name of. And I had remarked that of any video that was dangerous here on YouTube, that video was the most dangerous. And I'm generally a free speech advocate, but there are things that I found in my research of flagging here on YouTube that I would stand by, as far as video takedowns and such as there's a whole genre of videos where people have a fetish for animals being crushed by girls with high heels on. It's a thing. And also, I found it in my own research that there were videos of high schoolers beating each other up, and then somebody would take a video, and then the kid who was beat up gets re-traumatized by finding out that now his beatdown is being shared on social media with the whole school. And in those cases, I was supportive of the video being removed from the internet. Yes, principled uncertainty. This is live. I do live videos now. So in the hi Badger, I just talked to Badger about an hour ago. In the video, there was clips of Dan Erickson's video in the Plandemic video that I just watched, and I decided that that's probably the big reason why it was taken down, is that it had clips of another video that was taken down in it. And the worst of the clips, the whole reason why Dan Erickson's video was taken down was that it was endangering the public, and it crossed over this threshold of should we remove something for the good of the public? Is this something where that concern is greater than our concern for freedom of speech? Now, in the Plandemic clip that was released, it's over 20 minutes. In that clip, they try to already make the freedom of speech argument before it even gets to the point where they're getting taken down. So I had a feeling like they knew that they were going to suffer the same fate as the Dan Erickson video, and that would be their vehicle for popularity. The whole, things that are banned get more attention because they're banned. The Streisand effect of it. But I would agree with the takedown of Plandemic. the specific things in it that I can save you the time for having to go look at for it yourself. Um, the specific arguments in it are that doctors are incentivized to call things COVID-19 deaths because they get a little bit more money from Medicaid if something that wasn't COVID-19 gets classified COVID-19, to the tune of a difference of $13,000 to $30,000 per patient. Right? Um, I don't believe this, mostly because I work in and around medical fields, uh, and myself, I would never diagnose somebody with the things that I have the ability to diagnose if they didn't actually have it. And I use ASAM levels of care correctly to place people as far as what sort of uh, treatment they need. And I don't fudge things because maybe I'm going to get some sort of kickback. Now, the kind of massive conspiracy that they'd be talking about here would be like so widespread that there would be no way to keep it a secret. And in fact, they've already anticipated me saying that by getting clips of like 7 or 8 different healthcare professionals who have said the same conspiracy there. At least they're people in scrubs, using their scrubs as their their badge of authenticity. That's the weird thing. Like if you see a doctor wearing scrubs to make their video, that's because they want to hide behind the scrubs to make their video. If they're doing these conspiracy theories, they want to use the authenticity that those scrubs put out there. Same thing with lab coats, but yeah, they're saying that doctors are incentivized and that the mortality rate of COVID-19 is uh, overblown, hyped. It's the numbers are being skewed to spread fear and whatnot. And I don't believe them. I'd say that they have not met their burden of proof for that. And also, like, okay, how many of the today it's like 77,000 people. How many of them do you think should have not been assigned COVID-19 as their reason for dying? We've got 77. That's just here in the U.S., right? Um, how many? Sorry, got morning allergies. Give me a formula that you would say, okay, these people or this percentage of that number is wrong. Just give me a ballpark. Half of them. You know, are you are you saying half of the deaths? Are you saying most of them? I don't know. They don't go that far as really being solid as far as their claims. You know, but let's say half of the people who are said to have died of COVID-19 in the U.S. were they don't count as COVID deaths because of their pre-existing conditions and all that, or uh, however they want to discredit those deaths. And I wouldn't do that because it really dishonors the person who died to deny them the way that they died. But you know, let's just go ahead and say uh, half of them don't count in the numbers. Well, right now that would mean that still this problem is 10 times the size of 9/11. You know, if you want to say that 90% of those cases uh, were not supposed to be classified that way, then we still got something that's like two 9/11s. You know how much 9/11 changed our lives. You know, we don't fly places without passports, and when we go there, we have to take off our shoes now. You know, it changed a lot, a lot. We have a whole new department of our government. You know, things changed a lot because of that many deaths, and they're saying, "Oh well, you know, our response is overblown." Well, I suppose it depends on how much you value death. What's strange is, or value life. What's strange is these are the same people who would say, um, you know, we should ban abortion because the politics are somehow connected. You know, everything's intersectional, and you know they want people to not be able to get an abortion, and they're against body autonomy and them saying, you know, my body, my choice. But now they're like, oh no, my body, my choice when it comes to vaccines and wearing masks. You know, and you know, if people die, then that's their right because they're living in freedom. You know, principled uncertainty says, do we not now regret our decisions post 9/11? I'd say, yeah, we can look back at our reaction and say there were parts, specifically in what I'm saying, that there are parts of the Patriot Act that are overreaching a bit, you know. But is it better now that we don't have people trying to blow up planes with their explosives hidden in their shoes? Okay, you know, I feel safer. Um, you know, it'll save a couple lives, but see, it depends on uh, how many inconveniences you're willing to uh, accept to save a life. You know, do you think that we should all have the right to get on a plane without taking our shoes off and just accept that that method of blowing up a plane is going to kill a couple thousand people every year? But you know, humans are going to be humans. You know, and freedom, America. You know, if we're going to draw a parallel. Dinah says that the reaction to 9/11 wasn't over the death, it was over the destruction of billions in property. Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay. Um, wow. Back to the video. Um, the video also says not only do they say that wearing masks will activate your coronavirus, uh, it says that ventilators are killing people. And I'm not even the best person to debunk those statements, but I'm going to say that they've been widely criticized by reputable doctors. I will leave a link in the description of this box, and I'll just throw that link out there right now to a document that is being edited by many reputable people, just like line by line, debunking this video. Um, she even says the doctor that's in this movie that has been arrested for stealing from her employers before. She even says that there was a treatment for autism that drug companies are keeping from the American public. That you can't get a hold of this drug. And what amazed me about this video is that there's this one line where they ask her, "Are you an anti-vaxxer?" She's like, "No, I'm not anti-vaccine." And then the video goes on to talk shit about vaccines. Just like, okay, you don't like the term anti-vaxxer, but you are against the vaccines that are out there, and you have these conspiracy theories about them. She says that the quadrivalent flu vaccine. They don't use the word quadrivalent, but she says that there was 4 strains in it. So it's the quadrivalent flu vaccine. One of the strains was a very dangerous H1N1 flu virus that was being protected against, right? So there was 4 different strains that we were trying to protect people with, and that Italy got this quadrivalent 4 different strains flu vaccine, and that's why people in Italy died, right? So she's anti-vaxxer for at least that quadrivalent flu vaccine. And here's the thing. I've gotten that quadrivalent vaccine just last year in September, right? And it was a term of my employment in order to go into hospitals, right? And what she's saying is that all these people in Italy died because they had that particular flu vaccine. If that were the case, then we would see a giant spike of deaths in hospital workers because they would all have been vaccinated with this quadrivalent flu vaccine, the best one that covers the most strains. That's the one that hospital workers are supposed to get. Also, they say that the military was given coronavirus in a flu vaccine. And what I've seen in the document I just linked in the chat was that it was actually having to do with the common cold coronavirus and not this novel SARS-2 coronavirus. Basically, what she's trying to tell people is ventilators, when doctors choose to put someone on a ventilator, they're trying to kill their patient so that they can get money for coronavirus because they're incentivized. Because doctors don't care about saving people now, I guess. To hell with the Hippocratic Oath. They're all about the money, right? All doctors are evil, right? And then there's this giant conspiracy to try to kill everyone by preparing you with stage 1 of killing everybody by giving everyone the flu shot, which will make you more susceptible to this coronavirus that they've unleashed on purpose in order to be able to sell you the vaccine for the coronavirus that they haven't developed yet, because they weren't ready with like stage 2 of their plan before they decided to go ahead and enact stage 1 of releasing the virus. And then stage 2 is pump up the numbers by artificially scaring people, and then stage 3, I guess, is rake in the money by selling your antidote, right? And this is not me mischaracterizing this video clip. If you go to their website, which I won't show any bit of it, it literally starts talking about John D. Rockefeller bought a German pharmaceutical company that would later assist Hitler to implement his eugenics-based vision of manufacturing chemicals and poisons for war, yada yada. But it talks about the problem, reaction, solution strategy that they are ascribing to Rockefeller, which I'm sure he wouldn't have put it that way, but basically create the problem, stir up a reaction about it, and then sell them the solution. And that's what they're saying that the coronavirus is. That the name of the movie, Plandemic. Um, it seems a little dated. The clip that they show is talking so much about hydroxychloroquine that it seems like it's dated to weeks ago rather than right now, because now they're trying to talk about remdesivir more than hydroxychloroquine in the news, and with regards to Dr. Fauci, all the things that they're trying to sling mud at Dr. Fauci for. They're definitely targeting Dr. Fauci with this movie clip and what will probably be the rest of their movie. And the book that this woman is trying to sell, called A Plague of Corruption, right? So, my take from this, more than just giving you all the link to that Google Doc that just debunks it line by line, my take from this is it's got a demographic that they're targeting. Yeah, they're targeting Dr. Fauci with uh, the mudslinging that they're doing. But the real target is the kind of person that would show up to a protest, uh, saying that we need to stop stay-at-home orders and we need to release people from their lockdown and get back to the way things were. They're trying to stoke that particular uh, demographic, and get them to buy a book. Which I don't know that they have the right demographic for people that buy books, but stay with me here. In the clip, she's actually um, appealing to the president of the United States to do something differently. Um, yeah, and so I'm just going to say right now, I just wish that there was better gatekeeping for PhD candidates. That it wasn't the case that anyone can go anywhere and get a PhD and then use that, and then just really sully the reputation of higher education. You know, there's so much misuse of symbols of authority where just what she's saying just uh, doesn't stand on its merits. But the fact that she's got a PhD is going to sell the book, and it's the reason why uh, people are listening. It's the reason why people are concerned that people are listening. Is that authority, and so yeah, we can't trust people just because they have a PhD. You know, you'll if you're the kind of person who wants to believe in this stuff, you're going to cherry pick the two or three PhDs out there that have gone completely mad and are spouting the things that you want to believe. And so now, you know, I don't know. Even if we had better gatekeeping, I'm sure there'd still be a few doctors that would go mad after getting their PhD, and then completely dishonor the people that they studied underneath. I'll say my most enjoyment came from the part of the movie where they're making the case that going to the beach was restricted not because of social distancing requirements, but because They don't want you to go uh, experience the healing properties of nature. Because if you were to just go bathe in the waves and wiggle your toes in the sand, you might have some healing properties come into you. The website, it's very much spouting anti-vaxxer sort of arguments that naturopathic healing has been attacked by uh, medical associations forever. And so what we need to get back to is naturopathic healing. Like, going to the beach. They're trying to keep you from the beach because they want to sell you a drug. And it's just social distancing is just a guise. No, no. Oh. That was my favorite part of the clip was like, oh, really? Really? Um, anyways, Badger says, bring back sorcery. Yeah. Um, funny thing is, principled uncertainty brings this up in his comment. He says he's more concerned with Fauci funneling money into bat coronavirus gain of function research at the Wuhan lab. Um, so the people that were trying to sound the alarm about this, like Fauci and President Obama and a bunch of other people, they're now being painted as possibly being uh, the conspirators of this when they were trying to warn people of this by saying, this is going to happen. We need to be prepared. And for the people who are of the mindset to go protest at state capitals because their haircuts are essential, that is somehow grounds for saying, they were probably in on it the whole time. The fact that Dr. Fauci has been in the field for many different uh, administrations in our country and has been part of trying to prepare the world for this sort of thing. It is now being twisted into, oh, well, it was all part of his plan. You know, they were studying it so that they could weaponize it, not so that they could protect us, but so that we could all die by it. You know, yeah, and that's unfortunate that people are going to believe what they're going to believe, and they will demonize the people that are trying to help them. You know, take care, guys. Have a nice day. I'll be back tonight.